Welcome to the sixth episode of the Out on Loan podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeffrey Canova, joined by my favorite friends, Mr. Colby Gaines, the Spurs fan, and of course, Mr. Eritrea, the poor Manchester United fan, who is blessed because he doesn't have to watch this United team for like a good while. Um, how's it been, man? Just not being able to watch that misery of a team.
Nah, man, I missed them because I feel like we finally found our form. It looks like our players finally remembered how to score goals. So I was starting to get excited again, and the international break happened. But next Sunday we're back on the field against City, so can't wait.
Yeah. Well, you know who's not going to be back on the field or back on anything when it
Here we
comes
go
to
again. The transitions, bro.
Hey, clean with it though. Clean.
I am the king of transitions. You can't when I hear him how can I transition? It just clicks in my head. I'm the king. But yeah, you know who's not going to be back?
Who?
The breaking news that happened over the week. The news of the year. The news, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe this. Were we working out? Me, you, Richard? Or was it just no? It was just me. Because
Nah.
no, it was just me. We'll get into further details about why it was just
Jimmy
me.
threw him under the bus. It's crazy.
But Daniel Levy, after how long? 24 years, if I'm not mistaken.
24, 25 years.
24,
20
20 plus
25
years is leaving Tottenham Hotspur. I almost dropped my phone in disbelief. One football broke it to me, and then you went crazy. You were sending me some pictures, which it was like funny memes and stuff. And I just was like, no way. What did you do? What did you jump on the bed? Did you throw some piñatas around? Did you throw some confetti around? Did you go on Twitter? I'm mad you were on Twitter. I know that for a fact.
Mentally, yeah, I did all of that. But I was laying in bed actually when I don't know why I was on Facebook of all platforms, but I was on Facebook, and then I just scroll and I see a Tottenham Hotspur post. It's like Daniel Levy has officially stepped down, and I was like, I literally said, "Oh my god," and I just set my phone. And I was like, "Dude," and of course I text you. You were the first person I texted. I was like, I said the same thing to you. I was like, "Oh my god, this is." I mean, what can you even say? Like, this is what anybody who supports Tottenham Hotspur has wanted this for the past God knows how many years. It just shows that the club it's a new club. Like, it's a new era for the club, to be honest. I can't believe it, but I don't know. Honestly, I was kind of speechless. Like, I mean, you know how long I've been saying that I wanted him out of there, and I think in some regards he does deserve credit for some of the things that he's done for Tottenham. To be honest, I mean, he's objectively raised the club's value by so much. Like, put them, globally, made a global icon, all of that. But his problem lies with the end product, which is actually getting over the line and getting players and bringing in talent. And I mean, I think especially, of course, I haven't been a Tottenham fan for that long, but I know enough to know that, especially after the Champions League final appearance, he didn't really support the team to compete the way you would expect a team that just went to the Champions League final. And that was just honestly the straw that broke the camel's back, is not supporting the team like that after their biggest taste of glory and how long. So from what I've read, the people from within the board and whatnot, were not, they don't think he prioritizes winning enough. So they claim that he stepped down. Of course, we don't know all the details yet, but it's suggesting that he did not step down and he was in fact pressured by the board and everybody else. Some of which, from what I believe I read, are his own children also were part of that committee that pushed him out of the club. Yeah.
Wow. How old is he?
I don't know. He's got to be in his 60s.
50s, right? 50s, 60s?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
The reason I bring that up is because age might be a factor. Like I know that sounds messed up, but like age might be a factor as well. Maybe there's like some underlying health issues or just like like that. Like I don't think you can take this anymore. Like
He is 63 years old.
that's
No.
that's a lot. Like that's and
He has
how
some
much pressure it comes with just coaching. Like that's why for me, for seeing Carlo like as a coach to this day, even with Brazil, or when he was with Madrid or wherever, like it's just insane how at that age you can just handle that because mentally and physically it can it coincides. Like it's just
Mhm.
mentally taxing and it affects your body as well. So for Daniel Levy, I think part of it was also just age, but then like you said, I just think the board was like, dude, you're done. Like that's it. Like
I'm
let's
just
move on.
surprised it
But
took as long as it did. Honestly, like
yeah,
I mean, it's kind
honestly,
of a weird timing to be honest. Like you wait until we finally win a trophy, um,
right.
to be like, all right, well that's it. Like I feel like that could have been done years ago. But so that's kind of concerning in a way, but at the same time, it's like whatever. I mean, as long as he's gone, which he is, although he is still a major investor in the club, but that's not he's still not going to have any
Not
like, control over anything with it. So,
right, right.
And that's
um,
kind of like us with the Glazers, and to some extent, it's like, yeah,
Dude, the
we
day
had
they go, I'm gonna party. I'm
Oh,
throwing the
you,
confetti on
bro, you know it. You know it. Remember, this is kind of off topic. Remember when Lakers fired Darvin Ham and like how it went crazy? I was also just done with my finals too. I think I gotta go 10 times crazier when that happens.
I would agree with you.
Because
I would agree with you.
Darvin Ham was sure he was only 2 years, but these Glazers, this is their 20th season. They've been here since 2005. So
So
like
they're
a whole
probably the longest standing owners of a club now that Levy is out of the game.
yeah,
Like
potentially.
I would have to imagine because Levy was at least chairman was the longest standing chairman.
Mhm.
Um, I think in the Premier League or was it? I don't know, but yeah, they definitely have to be up there, which is wild.
Which is
Yeah, we
just
also
crazy.
got
Yeah.
what are Liverpool's owners? I forgot their names. They had some issues. What is their name? They're Americans too.
LeBron James.
No,
Well, he's one of them.
he's one of their owners, but yeah,
Is
Liverpool's
it
owners have
like
had issues.
Fenway Sports or something? Is
Yeah,
that who
something with Fenway.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Fenway Sports Group? Yeah, yeah, yeah. With
The Fenway
he,
Sports.
he owns
John
the
Henry.
Red Sox, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then obviously we had the Kroenkes with Arsenal. They had some issues when they got them back in like the early 2000s. And then obviously City, well, the proven one has been like the Qataris who have been owning City for a long time. So, but they've been the most
So
successful one. But with Levy, yeah, it's just I agree with you completely. I also looked into it. I saw some videos. Like I think he deserves his flowers. He did bring you guys like probably one of the greatest ever Spurs sides of all time in this modern era. Like you brought in Kane, you brought in Son, you changed the facilities to modernize it. I mean, the new stadium as well.
new
But
stadium is
yeah, there was just a time.
insane.
Yeah, but there was just a time where it's like, okay, you're the businessman, but now we need to win football games. We need to win games in this modern era. Now we appreciate everything you've done, but it's time to move on. Now we need someone who's ambitious to win, who's going to get us back into the right track to keep us dominant, along with the modern era and technology and advances that we've gone through with you. Now we need to be dominant like a city, like a Madrid, like a. I know that's very ambitious, but like I mean,
Oh
you
yeah,
got to start
yeah,
somewhere. You got to start. You
exactly.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but he deserves his flowers. We'll look back and be like, dude, Daniel Levy, he brought Son, he brought Kane, he brought Dale, he brought all these players. He brought that new stadium. They're going worldwide to where you're having fans in Japan, in Tokyo, in Korea. You like they're everywhere. They're even here in the States. Like
Mhm.
so. Props to him, man. Props to them.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, you're right. The Spurs would not be at the level they are today if it was not for him. But like you said, I think the just level of ambition was not there, and I I have to imagine it kind of coincides with the latest transfer window too. Like we were the most ambitious that we have been in I don't even know how long, and I don't know if that is because there was a clash within between Levy and the other parties. That was like we need to go all in and stuff, and then it caused him to maybe grow conflict within Tottenham, but I don't know. I just feel like something went on to where he was like, I just can't do this anymore. And but
Yeah.
I mean it's great for a multitude of reasons. Like especially even now, I remember reading like a little bit ago, it was a couple hours ago, I saw on Twitter that Enoch, which is of course the investing company and the major majority holder in Tottenham, they're already saying that we're bringing in 100 million investment within the next transfer window to have that to try and make the signings to get us over the edge, which is huge. I mean, like you think about it, we already had at least like 75 million set aside for Savinho. So in the next
Yeah.
transfer window, it's going to be very interesting for us to say the least.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we make the moves that can solidify us in contention for top four. I think is the
True.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, definitely. But the reason I was laughing earlier, there was a moment where I was laughing not only because like I messed up like Levy, like my mic was not on, so like it's gonna sound choppy at the beginning. So I'm sorry to my listeners out there. But also I was laughing because you were talking about like, man, he probably won the title and wanted to leave on a high. Like, a lot of legendary players do that. Like Cross. I remember in last year won the Champions League, had a good Euros, and then just said, "All right, I'm going to hang up the boots and I'm going to leave on a high." Messi's probably thinking about doing that right now with the Argentine national team. Like, will he play the World Cup? Will he do this? Will he do that? So it's going to be a decision. And probably Levy had the same thing. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave
I,
on a high, man. I'm gonna
I
leave
don't
with my
know.
head high up.
I don't know if I support comparing Daniel Levy to Lionel Messi, but I get the
No, no, no.
point
I'm
you're
just
making.
saying, like he has that ego. Where I'm like, dude, all right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave with something, bro. I'm gonna leave with that
Sure.
title.
Yeah.
But
Then in that case, you should have kept Ange if he wanted to leave on a high, but he just took him out
I mean,
for no reason.
yeah. Truth be told, I'm glad that he didn't, but I get why you would say that. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
when you bring a club its first major trophy in that long, you do deserve some grace without a doubt. But honestly, I think Levy was right on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I think
You
it was
think
the
so?
right. I think so.
Why so?
I I just don't. I didn't trust Ainge's tactics. I mean, if you watch this week in and week out, and I've talked about this before, but we were just so vulnerable. Like, I mean, yeah, we scored what I think second or third most goals in the Premier League last season, but that doesn't necessarily win you games when you're conceding all the time. And I mean, to already have what 2 clean sheets now in 3 games, I think that kind of speaks a lot to Frank in comparison. But yeah, I mean, I love Ainge. He's a great character. As Jeff knows, we love Ainge around here.
we
Um,
love Ainge. We love the big Ainge.
yeah, I mean, he was a proper Tottenham manager. He backed us in the media and everything. But I just think when it comes down to tactics, I don't think he had it right. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and his tactics became more variable as the season went on. Like at first, he was very stubborn and it cost us games. But as we got hit with the injury crisis, he definitely started adjusting stuff. I mean, even in the Europa League final, you saw we played like a back five for I don't even know how long. But I don't know. I don't think his tactics were sustainable, to be
Mm.
honest. And I knew we were in for another long season if he did stay as a manager. So I think it was the right call. It's just really unfortunate when you're the guy that brings home the glory and then you're sacked. That's never a good look. But I do think it was the right move.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree. But yeah, we are gonna miss. I wish we could have had him on the podcast, and maybe in the future, maybe we can ask him like, Ainge, like, what was your favorite Spurs moment? Like we were, but now we're gonna kind of transition into a little bit of international football. I know there's not that many games, and honestly, as football fans, we hate these. We're just praying for literally the only news that matters is are our players going to be healthy? What's the big matchup? What's the big story? The big story was obviously like Messi's final game was played with the
I don't buy
Argentina
that.
national team. No, at the Monumental at Argentina for the World Cup qualifiers. This will not be. I don't think this will be his last game
Yeah.
with the selección, but I think that was his last game at Argentina wearing the jersey. I think that was his last game, and I think that he will play another World Cup. I think he will play in the World Cup. I know he hinted that he doesn't know. I think he will. There are conversations like, does he want to leave on a high? Like, okay, I left on a high here in the World Cup qualifiers. I scored 2 goals against Venezuela to help my team just seal off and go positive into the coming World Cup. But I think he's gonna play. I think he still got it. I mean, I was texting you throughout the game. I was like, dude, Messi's just he has it, man. He has it. He still has it. It's insane to me, but like he still has that touch. He still has that burst of speed in the right moments. Like, and he has the perfect team. I mean, dude, besides Spain and on talent, yes, you can include France and Portugal. Argentina is just one of the best teams to play football. I mean, everything. I mean, the pressing is there. Romero, you got Otamendi, who's going to play his last World Cup too. You got those bullies in defense. You got one of the best shot stoppers and goalkeepers, Emiliano. You got that midfield with Enzo. You got youngsters like Franco Mastantuano, and even the new guys that Thiago Almada, the new guys that Atletico signed. And then you have Julian Alvarez is still in there. And then you have Lautaro coming off the bench, and you still got the GOAT. Just in that game, he looked good. Like the touches, the turns. They were trying to. It looked like 2012 Messi at certain. I was like, oh my god. And then I was raving about the first goal because it's like, how does a player at that age? I know he had a bad touch to get into that position, but to have that reaction at that age and that agility and that composure to still chip it in. Argentina, man, they're still the same. Like I don't know why people are. I don't know. I understand France is in there. I understand that Portugal. I know they won the qualifiers, but dude, Argentina are right in there, man. So I imagine for Messi, like he goes into this next year's World Cup. Yeah. Just says, all right, one last dance, one final time to give my fans something. Let me leave on a high.
I mean, he has nothing left to prove. It's not like
he has nothing left. There's not even any pressure.
If they got bounced within, the first game or two, let's say,
who cares?
Yeah, like who would really care? You know what I mean?
But like we as the fans, we want to see him play. I know I'm a Madrid fan. I know I'm Peru, whatever. Like I'm not the biggest of Argentina fans, even though I do love their fan base. But like. Come on, man. Don't retire, bro. Do not retire. Don't do it. Just give us, especially here in the state. We need you here. We need you here at the States. We need box office attractions. I'm happy Ronaldo's gonna be here. But we need the GOAT. We need him here in the States, in Mexico.
I mean, hypothetically, he's been here, bro. He's been at Miami.
No. But I'm talking about like with the selection, like at his like against real competition, not the MLS, not against the Seattle.
Bro, against LAFC, Galaxy.
No, against the. Yeah, like I don't care. No, I want to see him compete at like the highest of football competition, and I want to see that. Yeah. I really do, and I think we can. So I'm sad to see him going out like that. Just this is his last game, and it was an honor to at least watch him one last time. Like at the Monumental too, which I'm hoping to make it in October. I'm praying to God I make it. Gotta go to that stadium, man. That stadium is so beautiful.
Is the Monumental? I forget. Is that the one for River Plate fans?
Yes, that's River Plate, and that's yeah. That's the one where the team mainly plays at. That's their main home ground. Whenever it's a Monumental, like Peru, I think has one too. We have a Monumental too, but that's for La Universidad. And I think also at Uruguay has like everyone in South America has like El Monumental, like that's their main ground. So for Rivers, that's the main ground. Arguably have the best fan base, even though I would say Boca are probably better. But yeah, the reason and then we were talking about Peru. It's been a rough 4 years watching this national team. They suck. They suck.
What happened yesterday?
We're old, man. We're old. We're dusted. We don't deserve anything. You know how football like sometimes rewards like being clinical and like teams who fight or whatever.
I know it all.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I know it all, man.
They gotta get you on the horn, bro. You need the call up at this point.
No, I would make it even worse. When you're calling Mr. Canova here, that is even worse. You're like, dude, are you serious? But yeah, I mean, I'll take the job. I'll take the money. I might fail, but fuck it. I'll take it.
You might
but no, it was just, our national team is just fried. Literally, we're just old players. Like, new transition, 3-0 to Uruguay. No tactics, no football. At least back in the day when we were a dominant team, we had players that can touch the ball, like Cuevas. You had a younger Paulo Guerrero. You had Carrillo, who was able to run down the wings. You had Jotun at a younger age, able to touch the ball. We had a solid defense. We had a coach that actually knew what game plan to do, how to move the ball quicker in certain spots, how to make a counterattack, how to maintain possession. This team cannot do any of that at this stage, at their stage right now, and we need a full rebuild. And it's probably going to be another 30 years, man. I mean, we went 30 years without going to the World Cup. It'll probably be another 30. It just hurts because there was a hope that I would probably see my national team at the World Cup being Peruvian American, but just not going to see it, man. I guess we'll get to see the United States, but even them, they've been on a interesting roller coaster of a ride too. I mean, I don't know what's been going on with that team. Just a lot of drama that we don't need right now, to be honest with you. We're trying to make a run, but who knows? Maybe they wake up, they get a little bit of a kick up the you-know-what, and they start moving. But I don't know. But yeah, the other international news, so I guess for the CONMEBOL, obviously Argentina, Brazil qualify, Uruguay, they qualify as well, Ecuador qualify, and I think Colombia as well. I think Colombia and Paraguay will be fighting for that 5th and 6th spots. I mean, Uruguay, Ecuador, Colombia, and Paraguay will be fighting for those spots, but it doesn't really matter because, you get the qualifying, you get the spots. The only last few games will be Bolivia and Venezuela. They will be battling out for those spots as well to get into the playoff round, because usually there's a playoff round to get into the spots, which I thought Peru had the mathematical chance of doing, but obviously they just put me to sleep. And after the second goal went in, I was like, okay, I'm turning this off. There's no point watching this team play anymore. So rebuild, new president, new federation, new youngsters, new coach, new everything. Just rebuild, suffer with the youngsters who will, get some minutes in there and just have some idea of a play. Maybe sign Ainge. Why not? I would love to see Ainge with the Peruvian national team. Have Ainge just scream at them and get them to play and press. I would love to see that, but it is what it is, man.
Ainge in the South American conditions, though, that'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, Ainge teaching the team to play in Bolivia. You want to talk to Colby about how crazy it is to play in these CONMEBOL qualifiers? Reach. Remember we were talking about on the drive back.
So yeah, yesterday I was so shocked to find out the altitude in some of these cities in South America. So I believe it was it Bolivia that we were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about Bolivia because we were talking about Bolivia might make it in there because they're just a tough ground to go to. It's like we were talking about, can we do it in a rainy night in Stoke? Can you do it at the Camp Nou? I'm like, dude, guys,
do it in Grimsby?
Can you do it in Grimsby?
All right, bro. Come on, man. That was not necessary. That was not necessary. I thought we were already past that. That was 2 weeks ago. That's old news.
No, we're not over that, bro.
100% over that.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not making fun of that. But I said, but can you do it in the cold, freezing, high altitude night in Bolivia in their stadium? And we did the research. And you want to read how crazy it is, the altitude in there?
Dude, it was 13,500 feet of altitude. And just to give context, so we know that Denver, it's called the Mile High City, and NBA players, fans, they'll always be like, oh, it's a tough place to play in because of the altitude. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. This Bolivia game, where their stadium, I forget which specific city it was 13,700 something feet.
It's almost
more than double, 2.5 times more.
That's crazy.
And it's Jeffrey was explaining it how, what was it when you were visiting Machu Picchu?
So any context. So when you go to Machu Picchu for the first time, or any of these high, I don't even want to know what going to Mount Everest is. I would be freezing in my pants. But look, when I went to Peru, and mind you, I'm not running. I have all the protection. I have all the gear. I have all the coats and stuff, the gloves, because I know it's going to be cold up there, especially during the summer. In June, July, it's winter up in there. So I went as a regular tourist, and I got sick the first 2 hours. So I literally was puking, felt nauseous, my head hurt every time, and we have to take this little candy or plant, a native plant that's called a coca. So it's literally, you can make it as a tea or you can chew it as a candy. I recommend it for a T if anybody like goes and travels. But like now, put into context, right? You know how like we put into NBA context. You know, like like going to Denver is a pain because of the altitude. Yeah, you're playing inside a stadium where like you're getting like all the treatment, you're getting breaks, you're like you have timeouts, you go into the locker room, you can drink water, like you have all that advanced stuff that you're going to Denver. Yeah, I want you now to imagine you're going to Bolivia, you're outside, you got crazier fans. No disrespect to any Denver's fans, but then you got Bolivian fans out there going at you every single minute of the game. You're running for probably more than an NBA game because you're probably running like 3 to 4 miles if you're a midfielder. It's freezing cold. You got to wear protection and gloves, and you're running nonstop unless you get subbed out. So imagine doing that, and then you have to score goals. You got to press. You got to run back. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare, and that's double what you're doing in Denver. Double. So if you have players complaining about that, dude, I can't even imagine. That's why I say South America. To play in those stadiums, it's a joke because you don't even have the advanced technological you don't even have the technological advancements to like help you out to recover. Like it's insane. It's like how do you even survive that? Which is why I hope one day I get to interview. Be like, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to just go up into those altitudes? Because it's not fair. It's actually like insane how much, and that's why a lot of big teams lose. That's why if you're a qualifying team, if you go through Bolivia, you're most likely going through because or you have a high chance of going through because that's the one place where everyone is probably going to lose or drop points. Colombia lost there. I think Argentina dropped points or lost there. I know Uruguay still was there. I think we lost there or we struggled. We dropped points.
It's just like Bodo Glimt, the team that was in the Europa League last year, now in the Champions League, because we had to go out there. It's literally in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like
it was in the Europa League semifinal, I believe. But of course we won. But it was like people were so scared. It was like, dude, to go out there in that environment and with how cold it is and everything, like you're gonna lose. But
yeah, it's hard. It's hard because you
tough.
don't. It's hard. It's hard. But you know what else is hard for someone?
What, Jeff?
Kind of transition into another topic. I know this is a football, but you know what? It's international break. It's boring. I don't care. I know Mbappe scored a goal today. I heard some news about him being the top chance creator. We had Messi's things. He'll probably play the World Cup.
Dude, we didn't even talk about the transfer window.
We kind of did in the last episode, but I mean, I guess what are your thoughts on Isak? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I was just talking as a whole, but I mean, yeah, it's insane. I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, what was your what was besides the Isak? Like, what transfer did you want to talk about now that you're bringing?
Oh well, I was just talking about Tottenham with Xavi Simons and.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I thought we did, dude. What? Okay, what was your reactions to that? So my Tottenham fans, you're probably in like a glorious spot. Daniel Levy's leaving. Son is still killing in MLS. You guys are still in there in the Prem. You guys are playing good football. Frank has been fucking killing it. And then now you got Xavi Simons.
I feel like I could go on a whole tangent about the transfer window, but I'll just say it's had me very stressed out. Because it's like deals constantly falling through, rejections left and right. I mean, it honestly doesn't get much worse, or at least I thought it didn't. Of course, with Gibbs White falling through and then out of nowhere, the Xavi Simons news came in that we were going for him. I'm like, what? And of course, in my mind, I'm like, well, there's no way we're pulling this off. He wants to go to Chelsea. Chelsea have been on him all summer, but that night it really started ramping up, and it was I don't even know, probably close to midnight at this point when it really started ramping up. And I was like, I'm not going to bed. I'm not going to bed until I find out what's going to happen with this, because
right.
I've been sitting here through this whole transfer window watching deals fall through and whatnot. I'm not going to bed until I find out what happens with this. And then, an hour goes by. Oh, he's agreed on personal terms. They're still working out details. Another hour goes by. Oh, he's doing the medical. It's 2 or 3 in the morning here. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is actually happening. Oh my God. We're actually about to land somebody. And then, of course, we finally get the confirmation, or Ornstein pretty much confirms it, says everything but pen to paper is there, which had me still super worried. because I've seen that one before. But I was like, this is all but confirmed. So I think I can go to sleep, and I'm expecting a here we go in the morning. We should be good. And thank God, because it was there when I woke up.
What
And
day was this? Was this a
mm,
Sunday? Or is it
no,
Monday?
I think it
Or am
was
I way off?
I
Monday,
couldn't
no,
even.
because September 1st, that was the last day of the transfer window,
I want to say it was Monday, but I
like
could be
early
mistaken.
Monday morning.
What a great
Um,
way to start the week, right? Great
yeah,
way.
I mean,
And great way to
seriously,
end it too.
I was like, well, and I was always of the sentiment beforehand that Javi Simmons was the best option we could have got out of him and Gibbs White. I think Gibbs White would have been the better fit, but I think
Yeah, I
Simmons is
agree.
the better player or will be the better player.
Oh, he's a game changer. Yeah, I
So
agree.
I was extremely hyped about that. I was like, oh my God, this transfer window is saved. We finally got the 10 we need. We didn't get the left wing that we wanted, but I do believe we're going to go back in January and pull off the Savinho deal. I'm fairly confident in that. So that was awesome. I was like, dude, let's go. We finally got something done. Um, and then I was busy that day of the Kolomwani stuff. Like I was not even
Mm.
really on my phone that whole like I think it was the night leading up to that. And then the next day I was busy. So I just checked my phone like midday and I was like, what just happened? It's like we have a new player. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cole Maloney, I think he's a great player. I think he's going to be a great fit for Spurs. Personally, I think it's exactly what we needed, and it's not even because of his player profile. While that's also amazing, like the fact of the matter is, as far as I could find, this dude's missed like 3 games, like on his like senior career, and that's probably what popped out the most to Tottenham, if I'm being honest, because you know how our problems are with injuries and whatnot. So I think that's huge, especially now knowing that Slanky's going to miss some time. We don't know how much, but um, I think he's going to be great. I'm kind of glad that it was only like a year-long loan because he didn't want us originally, and I feel like that kind of goes
Right.
along with what Frank said before, which is like if players don't want to be here, then we don't want them.
Yeah.
So like I respect him, but also he rejected us, so like I think it's fine to just stay for the season and then get on. But I think he's a
Right.
good player. I mean, I know he was dropped from the national team, whatnot. But I mean, he tore it up for Juventus. He had, I think, 16 goals in, or was it?
Juventus or
Yes,
what was it?
Juventus on loan.
Who? Oh, you're talking about Cole. My bad. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I think he had what was it?
Yeah.
He had 8 goals in 16 games, I believe it was. So like,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, that's
to
great.
add on to that too, Colomani, I know people think negatively because of his performance against France and how he missed that sitter in the final in
Hmm.
2022. But man, he was also a game changer. So him coming out, if you guys remember that game, it was I remember it was him, Coleman, and I think Kamavinga as well. Those three came into the game and just completely changed it. And yeah, he missed a sitter, but like again, they would have not gotten to that spot without him because he was just
Yeah.
bringing in the pace. So him as a super sub or just as a backup, that is just perfect for
Yeah,
Tottenham.
I mean that's like a serious move. Like that's a move that a big club would make. Striker
Exactly.
gets injured. What do? You bring in a replacement, a solid
Right.
replacement. Like that. That's the type
Correct.
of stuff that I feel like is going to be a bigger trend now that Levy is gone. Is we're actually going to be moving like a big club and making the moves that we need to
Right.
do. But
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, go on. What were you gonna say?
oh no, I'm gonna say something else. Just finish your thought.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, obviously over the moon with Simmons. I think he's young. He still has a lot of room to learn. So I'm sure there will be times where he's, not perfect, and it'll be frustrating because he's 20 years old, but he's a very good 20-year-old. He's very talented, very flashy. I mean, it's everything you want in a 10. So I think that it's going to be good, at least for now, until all our guys are back.
And I won't lie, there's something about this deal where it just has flop written over it, just because, like I mean, he's coming from RB Leipzig, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like a young, either a winger, a 10, no prem experience, whatever.
Yeah.
and just like coming in and like like putting in, especially in a team like Tottenham where you guys are still like trying to create your identity, your playing style. Obviously, with guys getting injured, he's gonna be like thrown right into the fire and like sort of expected to perform
Mm-hmm.
day in day out. Like I feel like there's just like the pressure's gonna kind of get to him, and maybe he might not perform as well as we've seen with Red Bull. And it's like the same situation with United too, with Sheshko as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of like wish we still kept Højlund so that guys they could have like rotated and wouldn't be all 100% of the pressure on just like one guy.
Yeah.
But I would say like at least for you and the rest of like Tottenham fan base to sort of temper the expectation a bit because
Mm-hmm.
as good as he looked in Bundesliga, it's not really gonna show up like that in Prem, and especially with like the defense that it's gonna go against.
Yep.
But other than that, like you said, the potential is definitely up there. It's definitely high, but will he be able to like show the performances sooner
Yeah.
than later? That's what it really all comes down to.
Yeah, I think that's very valid points, all of that, honestly, and I'm with you completely. I was watching a video yesterday. It was like how good really is Xavi Simons, and he was picking apart, his game and everything. And kind of the takeaway was, like I said, like he's a young player who's trying to find his way, and it's gonna be tough. Like when you go to the Premier League, you know what you're in for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you guys hear echoing?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know if it was on my end or not. So start smiling, but you're good though.
Okay.
Are we good?
I feel like I can't continue now. Wait.
No, you're
Oh, test.
you're
Yeah.
good. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know you can hear me, but I was trying to make sure it wasn't echoing.
No, you sound fine. You sound
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
all right. It's all right. Yeah.
Okay. But no, you're definitely right. It's always a gamble when you bring a guy from a Bundesliga, especially a young player, straight to the Prem, and then you slot him in at the 10 role, and you're like, perform for a Big Six club. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's I do agree with you. I think that fans are probably going to have too much expectations for him, which is why I'm trying to already before he even suits up, kind of settle down. But I do think he will be at least a spark for us, and I hope he ends up being the quality 10 that we all think he is, because people are saying this is our Sun replacement, like this is our next superstar, which is a high expectations to hold him to, but we'll see. I think that's the best way to put it.
I guess to give my quick opinion before we have to go into our final segment is I've seen him when we played Leipzig in 24. Him and Danny Olmo were just nightmares for our midfield. I remember also too that Euros game where he played against England. He scored that crazy worldie where he like slotted into the top left of the bin. But I just remember the physicality towards him. Like physically, I think he will. Physically, he's good. Like I think he would. I'm not guaranteed that he will be physically strong enough in the Prem just yet. Maybe he needs a year for that. But technically, technically he's solid. And I think combine that with his physical traits that we saw in that Madrid game when we played him in 2024, he was just a problem, just creating, driving through, dribbling, the playmaking. You couldn't touch him, which is why and he came from the Barca Academy. He was like one of the most promised. He was the superstar. He was like one of the starts, like one of the first few superstars. Were like, oh my god, this kid is gonna come in and like actually take over the world. So I'm hyped for him. I'm hyped for him for Tottenham, for him being on Tottenham, and I think. I see the concerns. I agree with it because again, if I'm going to say that about Sesko and I'm going to say it about the culture and the environment and whatever, I have to agree and I'd be like, yeah, it could happen to Xavi Simons too because it's hard transitioning from a new league to the Premier League, especially, or any of the big leagues. Which is for me, the top two are like the Bundesliga and then La Liga. Those are the two that you see a lot of teams and players just go neck and neck. Like in terms of like success. And in terms of just adapting when those two like transition into those leagues, from other leagues. So, but yeah, no, I'm hyped and we'll see. I'm just excited to see that him, Colomani, Solanke, Kudus, Richarlison.
We're cooking something
Brennan,
up.
Yeah, cooking. And then I think you need a left winger, but
Brennan, the Ballon d'Or winner, right?
Brennan the Rock Johnson.
The Brennan the Rock Johnson.
All right. Heading into our final topic before I head it off because my computer's about to die in a minute. But and you know who's
Bro,
about to
you're
die?
not even prepared. No way
Who's
you've got
about-
a transition for this, dude.
Who's about to
You know who's about to
die?
die?
Who's
The
about to
Clippers'
die?
hopes of winning a championship. Because guys, I'm sorry.
Oh.
This is insane. That is, have you been following up with all this stuff with the whole Clippers and Kobe? I imagine you have.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed what you said originally. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Steve Ballmer and Kawhi and all that, dude.
Bro,
That's
Lakers
insane.
fans, man, we dodged a big
We're on
bullet.
top, bro.
Holy
Dude,
cow,
I'm
dude.
scared for Jalen Brunson, bro.
That's why I brought you. That's why I'm happy
He's
you're
next.
on because he's next. He's
We gotta win a
next.
chip now, bro. Like
Steve,
yesterday.
you guys gotta win a chip this year because you guys are the shady stuff in the NBA, man.
Yeah,
For me,
he's
I'm
not
happy.
the only one. I guarantee he's
No,
not the
there's way more. I get LeBron probably has something with that Luka trade. You know, damn well something with that Cooper Flag. Something fishy that we can smell. You know, like we can definitely smell something fishy, and I knew it. I knew when I got my heart broken on you know, you were talking about like staying up at night from 2 a.m. for that Colomwani news. I mean that Xavi Simmons like transfer. Yeah, that was me in 2018, 2019, or was no. 2019.
2019, summer of
2019.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was staying up late. I was waiting for Kawhi, for the big three of Kawhi, LeBron, and AD. I was waiting. And then when I saw Paul George and him and like the whole thing with the uncle and stuff, Mr. Ballmer, I knew there was something about you, man. I always knew. I always told Kobe, man, I do not like the Clippers. Like I it's not that I hate, like I just do not like the Clippers. I never liked Steve Palmer, like Steve Palmer, whatever. Fishy. Your chances of winning a championship are dying, like my computer right now. But also, what's back is NFL. Any predictions for? I know Kobe, you're a big Packers fan, so we gotta ask you, man. Hype for the season, real quick before computer dies.
The sky's the limit, bro. We could win it all.
Who do you guys play?
Oh, this week we play the Lions.
Yeah. Lions.
Oh, that's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a tough one, but
Is it at Ford Field?
nope, it's at Lambeau.
Ooh.
Michael
Yeah,
Parsons.
I don't know. I could be 50-50. Oh, yeah, that is true. You guys did get the highest paid LB
That's
in
right.
the NFL.
Yep, highest paid. I think the highest paid
Non-quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, non-quarterback.
Yeah.
So you better show up.
All right, I'm gonna go for a Packers win. Aritz and I are gonna watch the Chiefs game in the bit in Brazil. We're not going to Brazil, but the game will be in Brazil.
Oh yeah, flight after this.
Yeah, I'm going to Sao Paulo, baby.
Sao Paulo, baby, to watch Carol G. Mainly for Carol G because I love
Neymar. Maybe play some
Yeah, maybe
five-a-side.
Neymar will be there. Endrick will be there. Maybe Vinny might make an appearance. Who knows? But I'm gonna go for a Chiefs win. I'm gonna go for a Packers win, and I think you guys will do very well. And then Aritz, I know you're a Rams fan, so
Rams, baby. We're going against Texans, I believe. I think Rams got it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to call it quits. My computer's about to die. So thank you for listening to the 6th episode. Thank you so much, Kobe.